Music is a very strong thing. When used correctly, it can bring so much to the table during heated moments. Whether it be in movies or video games, music is everywhere. For as long as I can remember, I've loved music. I've been a drummer for years, and I have videos dating back to me being 2 years old, keeping time or banging on pots and pans. My family watched me grow up listening and loving music, and they, along with my teachers and friends, have all put up with my constant tapping on desks. Desks, tables, walls, practice pads, knees, and just about anything you can think of. If it makes a noise, it's a drum, no questions asked. Now, I think part of this love for music has stemmed from my childhood. Being a toddler, I used to play my Game Gear when my mom did chores around the house and always had 80s music blasting in the background. I grew up on music and video games, probably why I've turned into a computer freak, geek, nerd, gamer, lazy, or whatever name comes to mind. You might be thinking to yourself, yeah, okay, get to the point, and to that I say let's talk about some video games now. Some of my earliest memories I have is me playing Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 3. Now anyone on the planet can listen to the Mario Bros. Theme and be able to tell you where it comes from, but they can't tell you where Mario 3's music comes from, which is my favorite Mario game. Well, it was until Mario Odyssey came out, but that's not my point. And every time I hear World 1 Level 1's music, I get all those nostalgia goosebumps up my spine, and I get taken back to being a kid again. Music in video games are important, because while you're playing a game and you've died for the 12th time trying to finish that dungeon in Zelda, or trying to beat that boss in Dark Souls, you have to sit there and listen to the music that's being played. Sometimes that can be a very bad thing, but for the most part it's a good thing. I can't tell you how many times I've played Ocarina of Time, and every time I boot up the game I sit there and listen to the title theme and just reminisce on the adventures I've had in this magical world, and look forward to the next adventure I'm going to have in this world. In the same game, I always look forward to making it to Hyrule Fields just to listen to the theme, and it allows you to think about the adventure you're on right now while you make your way to the next destination for the next adventure. That's just my example, and I have plenty more and from many more video games. Now, most every gamer in the world hates water levels. They just slow you down and piss you off from the garbage movements and make you long for that next level where you'll have a steady ground to walk on and makes you appreciate those enemies on land just a little bit more. No matter how much they piss you off after killing you for the 76th time. But no matter how much I hate Dire Dire Docks as a level, listening to the music is worth the struggle. It's actually pretty ironic that in most games, the best music is in the most hated levels. The Water Temple from Ocarina of Time is a good example and is still one of the better themes in the game. It's just so somber and relaxing, but it also gives you a feeling that's cold and bitter. A feeling that also reminds you that there is a doom lurking in the depths of the water you're treading in. But I just fucking despise the temple itself. Now I don't know if I'm just weird or something is screwy with me in the head, but probably 8 times out of 10, anytime the right music is played at the right moment in a video game or a movie or a TV show, I'm almost brought to tears just from listening to the music. I don't know how to describe the feeling I get. I just get so taken over with emotion that I just can't control it sometimes. I'm looking at you, Avatar. I get these feelings a lot in video games. The biggest ones are some of the most iconic moments in video game history. The ladder scene from Metal Gear Solid 3 made me want to cry, it was so good. Or in Red Dead Redemption when the protagonist John Marston crossed the Mexican border to chase after Bill Williamson. And while doing so you get to hear the sweet, sexy voice of Jose Gonzalez sing in your ear while it allows you to look back and reflect on the journey you've taken so far. And it allows you to think about the journey that's ahead of you. Just thinking about that gives me goosebumps.
Step and front of a runaway train, just to feel alive again. Pushing forward through the night, aching just to blur aside. It's so far, so far away.
Those are just some of the major examples. Something that, surprisingly, not a lot of people really appreciate is the music that's played while actually playing the game or during intense moments in cutscenes or heated moments during the story. Those examples I showed you were ones that the developers wanted you to hear loud and clear, parts where you were supposed to be focusing on the music more so than the gameplay. However, there are some that I can think of that people don't really take into consideration. One of my biggest examples would be The Last of Us. The game's story was amazing and I would consider it part of my top 3 favorite video games of all time. This moment I think of is literally 2 minutes into the game, the second that Sarah falls asleep and Joel takes her upstairs, and the second the guitar starts playing that very iconic theme. My emotional barrier is almost knocked right down.
Baby girl.
One moment in the game that's already sad enough as it is when Sarah gets shot and dies in Joel's arms. Yeah, it'll make you sad just seeing the reaction of a father losing his daughter in one of the worst ways, but the light strings in the background and the light plucking of the guitar that sounds the second that she dies makes me just break down into tears. The acting is so good that it is 100% believable. You genuinely think that actually happened, and it leaves you speechless.
Oh no. Sarah. Move your hands, baby. I know, baby, I know. Listen to me, I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. All right, I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby, I know it hurts. Come on, baby, please. I know, baby, I know. Sarah. Baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Come on. No. No. No, no. Please. Please. Please don't. Please.
Or when Henry literally kills himself from having to shoot his little brother who had turned into a walker and attacked Ellie. The music after the whole thing went down makes more tears flood out of the already flowing river coming out of my face.
Oh no.
Sam. Henry. Henry, stay there. Henry? What have you done? I'm gonna get that gun from you, okay? Oh, okay, easy.
It's your fault.
This is nobody's fault, Henry.
It's all your fault.
Henry! Henry, no!
Oh my god.
This last example is probably one from a game that you probably wouldn't really expect a moment like this to come from. World of Warcraft has been the biggest MMO ever released, and it still holds that title to this day. I've been playing for more than 10 years and followed the story for a very long time. The most recent is in the Legion expansion, when King Anduin goes to visit the place where his father, King Varian Wrynn, drew his last breath. When Anduin's theme plays while he tells himself he can't lead like his father did, and even talks to his father himself, who gives him some wise words. I can't help but place myself in his shoes just from hearing the music in the background during this emotional-ass scene. Father.
You never surrendered. Even here, at the very end. I cannot do this, Father. I can't be the hero you were. I can't be the king you were. Anduin.
To sum it all up, music is really a powerful thing, and when used right, it can really tug on your heartstrings. A lot of people like to take music for granted, and yeah, people can be like, yes, music is my life. And they could very well be right, but they might not actually feel the emotion that the music is trying to portray. All music is amazing, and my favorite out of it is music from video games. This whole video could have just been seen as me being one extremely huge nerd about video games and music, but just take my words into consideration, and I really hope that I can make you guys feel and appreciate the music for video games just that much more. As always, thanks for watching. I love you guys very much, and I'll leave you guys with one of my personal favorites. It's a theme that's an audio symbol for where all my love for Zelda has started for me, taken straight from the Symphony of the Goddesses. I'll see you guys later, and have a good night. Thanks.